right. Hello, 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 everybody. Nice to see everybody. Give me a second here. Let me know if you can hear me, guys. Give me some hearts, give me some thumbs up, just give me some comments. Let me know you can hear me. Looks like I've got a bit of a lag here tonight, so I'm just waiting to hear. Okay, I'm hearing some yeses, so I presume that the yes is that you can hear me. All right. So first and foremost, welcome, 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 everyone. Get my hair so it's not sticking out here. First day back in the saddle, I was been kind of sick over the past couple of days with some food poisoning. Ate some not so nice chicken. Yeah, so this is my first kind of back in the saddle today. Back to the grind tomorrow. So yeah, tonight I am doing my messages from spirit. And yeah, I'm just kind of giving some time for everybody to pop in. I know there's a new little setting on this little program Be Live here, and it might start posting on its own. So we're going to give it a try, see what it's like. Just to get a couple things out of the way. Next week, I'm going to be going live, and you know, I'm sure we're all in the same boat, looking around at our world right now and how things are a little bit crazy. You know, between the vax passports and the elections and just the negativity with people being segregated and one side fighting the other all the time, you know. So what the guides have been telling me is the need for, if you will, self-care, right? There's so many people that are struggling from an emotional perspective right now with everything that's going on. So in between my messages from spirit, I'm going to be doing some, if you will, meditation, hypnosis type stuff. I'm going to do it live. And this will be an opportunity for you guys just to, you know, jump on in if you want to, and just to help you to relax. Right? Let go of some things, leave some things behind. One of the things about hypnosis is, you know what, an hour in hypnosis is worth 4 to 5 hours of sleep. It relaxes you so much, right? So the guys have been bringing that up. So that's something I want to bring forward to you guys as well. Another way to give back, you know, with everything going on, I've been finding meditation and, you know, quieting and stepping away from it has been so important to keep the mental health in a more balanced state. Okay. And the other thing I want to put out very quickly is September 30th. This time next week, I will be in St. John at Oh My Soul and Journey, and I will be doing a group reading. And kind of due to COVID, the passports and masks and all the changes, this will be the last one for 2021 that I'll be doing in public. We'll see where things go for next year. But I know I can't sit and read for a group of people with a mask on. It throws me totally off. So if you'd like to come out, you know what, you can go to my website, paulahunter.ca, and you can get a ticket. Okay, so if you're interested, let me know. One-on-one, I'm going to keep the group small again, so there'll only be limited seats as well. So if you're interested, drop me a message, go to my website, let me know, all the fun stuff, okay? So now I've kind of got that stuff out of the way. Welcome again to everyone who's going to jump on tonight. Just to let you know, especially if you're new here, the guides kind of dictate who is going to get the messages. I have my little pad of paper and pen sitting here. And as I see your names come up, so make sure you let me know they're here, right? Say hello. Don't bother posting a question yet unless I kind of ask you, because normally I just wind up going by it, right? As I said, spirit will like kind of focus me into an individual's name, and at the time you will have the opportunity to ask a question or have a connection, okay? And I do my best to answer as many as I can. Obviously, I can't get to everybody, but you know what? This is a fun night, and yeah, we'll see where things go. So let me just go back to my little list here. Oh, actually, I'll start. I'm going to start when I was grounding. I was having spirit jumping forward. This would have been a female. This would have been a mother energy. I feel like she would have struggled with breathing. She could have very well have COPD. And it almost made me think, you know, sometimes we can, you know, we've got like a tube going in through here. So she could have had issues with her throat or a breathing tube or a food tube or something in her throat, because I get her having difficulty talking and breathing. Okay, so as I'm bringing this forward, if this relates to one of you guys out there, please let me know. If not, sometimes I recognize it can be someone who shows up in the replay as well. But yeah, so I don't have a name. She was an elderly lady, but definitely breathing, COPD, that type of issue. Okay, so bear with me as I'm kind of looking through the my comments, all the good stuff, and welcome to the newbies. You're always welcome. You know what? I do this twice a week. Like my page, follow, so you know when I'm going live again, okay? Because I do it regularly. This is my way of giving back, right? We all need to give back, especially right now when there's so much anger and hate, right? We need to shift things around. It's so important right now, okay? So let me go through things. Again, let me know. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the list here as they're jumping me at individuals. Hello, Destiny. Got Cara, Jenna, Michelle, lots of lovely people. Hello, Marianne, long time no see, my dear. Let's see. Tanny Ham from St. John, but I've been in Alberta for 25 years. You know what, Tanny? I came out here from Alberta. I was living in BC, but I was also Calgary and Edmonton area. And I kind of miss it out there a little bit too. But this is where I hang my hat right now. This is the way it works, right? So bear with me here. Give me just a second. Isabel Palomino, I believe is what it is. So I see that you're saying that kind of makes some sense to you. I'm just trying to take a look. You said this is your grandmother. I know this is a mother, so I'm just going to hang on this at the minute, okay? Because this was a mother, not a grandmother. So let me see. Amanda McGarricle. Hopefully, if I don't say your names right, I apologize. I do my best. So Amanda's saying, Mom died from COPD and was on a ventilator. So Amanda, I'm going to hang with you. Dark hair. It's almost like the color of her skin wasn't right. So there could have also been maybe possibly some liver or kidney issues going on there too, okay? So bear with me here. I'm jumping down to the bottom. Mimi, nice to see you. Thank your friend for recommending. Nice to see everyone. I'm working my way down, Still going down. Okay, so I think I've hit the bottom now. Amanda McGarkle, let me know if you are still here. And hang on there, Isabel, because, I'll try and get something for you as well. But I'm getting drawn to Amanda. So Amanda, let me know if you are here, my dear. Because I feel like she had, brown hair, definitely brownish color hair. But I get like thin hair. So, shoulder length, this type of thing. So Amanda, you were saying that your mother had COPD and talked about being on a ventilator and things. Now, the other characteristics that I was providing, does that make some sense to you as well? And I know some of you guys would talk about Unans and things. Just kind of hang in there because she was adamant that this was a mother connection. And I know sometimes grandmothers can be very much like a mother, especially if they've helped to raise us. Her hair would have been probably about my length, give or take. But it was definitely more flat and straight. And Isabel, hang in there because I have added you to my list as well. But I want to stick with Amanda McGarkle here first. I just want some confirmation. Okay, so Amanda's saying, yes, she had very thin brown hair, shoulder length. And I really feel like this is a connection. And it's interesting between Amanda and Isabel, sometimes Spirit will kind of piggyback in too. And a lot of times messages can be very similar. It may come through for one person, but there'll be validation for somebody else. It'll be very similar on that front too, okay? So let me go with Amanda first here, and then I'll come back to Isabel, okay? And I also have Amy Stewart. If you're in the room, Amy, hang in there because I have you here on my list as well. Amanda, did you really not get the opportunity to say goodbye to her? To your mother? Mom just feels, the way I'm kind of getting it is she wished she had more time, and she's talking about like almost like needing to say more things, but not having the opportunity to do so. So it also makes me feel like she would have been kind of in and out of consciousness as well. Okay, Amy, you hang in there too. I've got you on my list, my dear. I try not to put too many people on my list at once, because sometimes I can put someone on my list when it first comes up, and then, say maybe it's 20 minutes down the road and they can be gone already, right? Okay. Okay. Amanda, your mom really wants to send her love through the line. She keeps telling me, she says, I so wanted to tell her how much I love her, because she says, I never told her enough. Okay. And I really feel like she's been on your mind lately, and it could be around the time frame, either just past or just coming into it, around the time frame that she would have, transitioned as well. Right. She just keeps saying, so many plans, so many things, and she just feels like she's missed out on so much of your life. So I don't know how long she's been past, but when I was grounding and preparing for tonight, she was coming flying in, and I was having a lot of issues in my throat. I'm like, okay, issues in the throat. It can be them stepping in, wanting to take over too. But I really felt that it was a communication issue too. I don't think she was always the best communicator. Is that making some sense a little bit? Amanda? And it's interesting, because I don't think your mom would have not believed in it, but I get her before she passed, like not being able to communicate, not being able to move around, like just really losing all of her capacities. So when I see her on the other side, she's like so excited. She's so happy. It's almost like she's been trying to get a message through to you for a while. So I don't know if you've gone to a meeting before or you've had a connection, but when I key into her on the other side, she's excited. She's jumping. She's so happy that she's got this opportunity. So I want to be able to give you this opportunity too. If there's something you want to know from her, or if you have a question about anything, please feel free to ask it. I always go with spirit who comes through first and foremost. Okay. Thanks, Star. I'm trying to get used to it. The older you get, and I start losing my hair. So the joys of menopause and hormonal shifts. So 2 years in Jan. So she hasn't been past that long then. So Amanda, let me know if you have a question or want to know something from her, right? Like I said, she was jumping in with bells on. Okay. So I don't know if you were just kind of scrolling through or what, but she's kind of going to me. She says, I was trying to get her to come in here. So it makes me feel like it wasn't something that was necessarily planned. That is like, oh, I'm going to go and do this tonight. But you could have just been kind of going through your feed and I popped up. So because your mom's kind of showing me that she had a hand in trying to get you here to send you a message. Okay. And as I said, I see your message here when you're saying that you miss her so much. She was your best friend. And it's funny because you say she was my best friend. And she comes back and says, I am her best friend. So it tells me that you still talk to her on a regular basis. She shows me a lot of tears being shed, and she's telling me how much you've been telling her, how much you miss her, and wishes that you were here for, that you wish she was here for you. So it can, represent that you're just having a bit of tough time right now too. But it's also just her wanting you to know that she's with you and she's walking with you. She says to me to tell you that there will never be a day that will go by that I will not be with you. Right. So sometimes we can sit back and we can be sad and feel like our loved ones on the other side are missing out on aspects of her life. And, she really wants you to know that that's not the truth. Right. She's with you. And hello, Marie. Thank you so much. Shared from England. Well, graciously, thank you for popping in and for sharing. I appreciate that. And again, I see you guys, some of you guys are posting questions. Just again, to reiterate, when I do these, I do my best to listen to my guides. My guides are the ones who direct me as far as where the messages are going. Please don't take it personally. It's not that I'm choosing one over another. They listen. If you're looking for connection, if you're looking for a reading, you know what? This is what I do full time. I would be more than happy to set you up with a private session. You can check out my, my website, or you can also, just drop me a message, okay? So let me see. Yeah, so okay. I see Amanda saying, yeah, it was weird how it happened. And I take it you're talking about how you showed up. This is how spirit works, right? You've been telling me you miss her, you've wanted a connection, and she put the opportunity in place, right? We're taught ask and you receive. This is how it works, right? So again, I'll give you a quick minute. If you want to ask something specific, please do. Just she wants you to know that she's around, okay? And if you don't have a specific question or want to know something, then I'll move on to Isabel too. Okay. Amanda, you are so welcome, my dear. Okay. It's never easy. It's never easy to have someone on the other side where we're missing them and we really want them there, right? So I hope that has helped a little bit. Amanda, thank you for stopping in. Your mom is so gracious because she's telling me thank you so much. And just like I said, know that your mom is walking with me. I'm not sure if you have a daughter or not, but she showed me being around a younger female as well and was watching over her. So it can represent a daughter, it can represent a niece as well. So if there's any concern there, you can just know that your mom's kind of trying to take care of things there too, okay? I love it when spirit jumps in, especially when I'm grounding. I don't know who's going to be in the room and they just show up, right? That's the way it works. So Isabel, welcome. Okay, I'm just going to be coming to you in just 1 second, Isabel. Yeah, Amanda, I see you have a 4-year-old daughter. Yeah, so just know that your mom's around her quite a bit right now too. She tells me that she's a little bit of a handful at times. And then she shows me, she goes, she's just like her mom, stubborn, right? So just know that your mom's, very much still a part of her life as well. Okay. Hopefully that has helped a little bit, my dear. And thank you for listening to your intuition as it kind of gave you a gentle nudge into my live this evening, okay? Definitely very much appreciated. Okay, so let me jump over here to Isabel. I know that you're not impatient. You're trying to be very patient, but they show me you're like wriggling around. You got a lot of energy. You have a hard time stilling yourself sometimes. Mine's going in 20 million different directions at once. So you're a thinker. Amanda, you are very welcome. Like I said, I'm not sure if you are normal on my page or not, but you know what? If you like, follow, and you know what? You can jump in on my lives again, okay? So Isabel, I know when I was bringing forward this spirit when I was grounding, you were saying that you have a grandmother on this side that was, very similar traits. So I'm going to give you the opportunity if you want to connect with your grandmother, or if there's somebody else that you want to connect with, or if there's somebody else, okay? So you let me know. Do you have a question or would you like a connection? Seeing a spirit wants to throw me your way. I'm feeling on fire today, and I've had a couple days off due to me having some food poisoning. So I'm feeling really strong and really good tonight. We all need to feel that way sometimes, right? Okay, so Isabel, you want to connect with your grandmother. Yeah, very, I jumped very quickly, very different energy. Give me just a second here. Grandma was pretty social. Because they showed me someone who would have their finger on the pulse. So what I mean by that is very social, having coffee, having tea. It's like, oh, did you hear about so-and-so? She's always knowing about what's going on. She'd be the one that if somebody's sick, she's making them something to eat and taking them down to them, this type of thing. Okay. And they show me the kitchen. The kitchen represents somebody who likes to cook or bake. I kind of get the feeling she was a pretty darn good cook. And the other thing, let me see. Family would have been very, very important to her. Family was number one. Makes sense a little bit? I do feel like your grandmother was sick for a while too, but I do feel like she had a fairly long life, and she shows me breathing, stop. And whenever I get that represents a gentle transition. It represents the fact that the soul knew that they were going to be passing. And I really feel like she shows me having family around her. So I feel like there was individuals that got the opportunity, family, friends that would have had the opportunity to say goodbye to her before she passed. Right? Very much so. Making some sense so far. Heather, thanks so much. Yeah, I was, pretty ill for a couple days. Back in the saddle today, though. Yeah, and she didn't put up with crap because as much as I get your grandmother being very gentle, she had, she'd be very stubborn. And if she had to stand up for herself, she would stand up. So I don't get that she not that anyone likes it, but fighting and bickering, she'd step right in the middle of that and stop it right away. Right. So you didn't get the opportunity to probably say goodbye to her then. I see that you were saying she was young, or that you were young when she passed, right? And, I do get the feeling like she maybe wasn't in your life as much as you wanted it to, but she shows me, because she was such a social, family-oriented individual, she shows me, having the visitation. Okay. When you hear me here, okay, when I say okay, don't mind that. Spirits talk to me at the same time, so it's just something I do for some reason. I don't know why, but I do. Yeah, I kind of get she could speak her mind. I would not want to, if you will, piss her off. But I think, having what she's telling me is a lot of the women and the family are very strong. So strong-willed, but not obstinate or stubborn. But what that tells me is, when the challenges rise, when we're faced with difficulties at times, she shows me digging in the heels and, taking care of what needs to be taken care of, not running, not hiding, not avoiding. Right. Okay. As I say that, she goes, she tells me that you're so much like that. So you don't put up with crap either. Makes sense a little bit? Hopefully that's helping a little bit. I'm kind of keeping an eye on my phone too, so that if we get what I call the trolls in, I can go kick him to the curb real quick. Yeah. And it's interesting because your grandmother showed me you're very similar to her. Independent, being able to speak up and speak your mind, right? And I'm not sure whether, there's a namesake in there too, but definitely, just know your grandmother's been around you right now. Okay. What I just heard was Isabel, she's saying that tell her to make a decision. So it tells me you're coming up to what I call the crossroads. And we talk about the crossroads. I can't keep going straight. I have to go this way or this way. We have to make a decision, right? And she's kind of going, you know what, make a decision already. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you with what that is regarding. She just tells me that you get in your head, you overanalyze, you overthink, and she's kind of going just stop already, just get on with it. Okay. Makes sense a little bit, my dear? Hopefully it does. And greetings to everyone that I may not have said hello to yet. I try and stay up with everybody, but I try and keep on my comments too, so I can make sure that I'm not missing comments. For those of you that are posting questions about connections and stuff too, again, just to reiterate, Spirit provides me and directs me to the individuals that need the sessions. It's not that one person is more important than another, but sometimes we're just, we're having a bad day. We just need to have that message from the other side. Okay. So please don't take it personally if I don't choose you. It is all about basically where they direct me. Okay. Claire Smith, first time here tonight. I'm from England. Welcome, welcome. I am here in New Brunswick, Canada. Little ways, what does it call it? A little bit across the pond. So I'm hoping that helped a little bit, Isabel. And I'd like to know whether Amy is still here. Amy Stewart, let me know if you're still around, darling. Let me see, Isabel, does she have anything for my dad, which is, okay, let me see. Does she have anything for my dad, which is her son, I take it, and about his health? Will he have more time with us? She says strength runs in the family. And normally when we talk about, health and stuff, I go to higher guides for things like that over individuals. All she's telling me is, that the family, there's such a strength. And she goes, how stubborn he is. He never goes goes anywhere. How do I put that? Not willingly, but if he doesn't want to do something, he doesn't do it. So I don't get him departing quickly, things like that. They show me, again, I get the symbol of, I'm not saying he's an ass, but they show me the symbol of a donkey, all for hooves being, right into the ground, right? Makes sense a little bit. Yeah. But, I see you saying that he has Parkinson's, you know what? But the guides say that he's been dealing with this for a long time. So yes, it is a degenerative disease, and yes, it is getting worse, but they say he's not going anywhere quick. So they're saying stop worrying. Okay. I know it's easier said than done, but that's kind of what the guides are saying on that. Okay, my dear. So give me a second here, guys. Hi, Kelly. You're asking where I am. I am just outside of a little place called St. George. So I'm 20 minutes from St. Andrews, about 45 minutes from St. John. Okay. And Isabel, I know you keep asking questions. I just try and make a connection or try and answer a question and kind of move on so I can get more people. I'd be more than happy to set you up with the private if you've got more questions or more connections and things like that. Okay, my dear? Bear with me here. I'm trying to keep up with, trying to write stuff down and talk at the same time. It's kind of like that walking and chewing gum at the same time. Doesn't always work so well. Okay, I got a couple more names down here. Amy Stewart, you still here, my dear? Hello, Cheryl. I am well. Much better now that I am kind of over my food poisoning. And hello, Ty. Good to see you again, hon. It's nice to see a few people from New Brunswick. Probably got a few. Hey, from the UK. Welcome, 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 Sasha. Claire, hang in there because I've got you on my list. Okay, my dear. I'm just waiting for Amy Stewart, and she just posted she's here. Awesome, my dear. So would you like to ask a question or have a connection? So when I talk about connections, where I differ from a lot of mediums is first and foremost, I'm actually a channel. And as a channel, my guides help me to connect to spirit wherever they are. So I don't necessarily read like a lot of other mediums. I don't read who's standing behind you or who's around you. With the way I work, it's kind of like, who do you want to talk to? And if they're on the other side, thus far, 30 plus years of doing this work, I'm able to connect. So that's why I give people the opportunity to ask for who they want to talk to, okay? Hello, Grace. Hello from St. Martin's. I had a wonderful weekend up there doing sessions for clients. It was great. So I'm just waiting for Amy to post her question. And I have Claire. I have, is it Deanie Purdy and Kelly Borland? You guys I have on my list. So right now it's Amy Stewart. So Amy is looking for a connection from her father. CCC. My mom has a B&B in St. Andrews. We live in Florida. And St. Andrews is one of my favorite places to go. I actually ride a motorcycle, so that's one of our rides is just riding down there, checking things out, riding by the water. So much fun. Okay, so give me just a second here. So, Amy, this would not have been your dad's cup of tea because the first thing I hear as I key in is, I can't believe I'm doing this. And whenever I hear that sense of, I can't believe I'm doing this, it represents the fact that they didn't believe in this. Okay. And a lot of times they'll kind of give me an eye roll too, but he's saying, yeah, I never knew it. I always thought this stuff was crap, is what he's telling me. Okay. I feel like illness with him, but I do feel like he had a quick downturn. Right? Amy, I take your agreeing about the, not his cup of tea. He would have thought it was crap. And you know what? He can have some colorful language too. So he doesn't have a problem speaking his mind, shall we say. Definitely no problems on that front. But like I said, I feel illness with him and then I get a quick go. So it makes me feel like there was illness or things going on before he was ever diagnosed, because he shows me the sense of, not liking doctors, really not wanting to get checked out. But then it came to a point, didn't have a choice. And it's like everything just progressed so quickly after that. That makes some sense a little bit. And hello, Tanya, Wendy, Sasha. Yeah. And I see you're just confirming that fact when I was saying about he being ill and passing quickly. And that's kind of what I get. Okay. As I say that, I mean, and what he's kind of talking about, the guys are a little bit as well, is it's almost like the family saying, you know what, we wish we had more time with him. We didn't want him to go, as quick as he did. And not that we don't want to not have our loved ones here, but there are a lot of times where they kind of go, and this is what he's doing. He's going, you know what? I was not going to lay in a bed. I was not going to have other people, if you will, change my diapers, take care of me, not my thing. He says, not to mention having to sit and watch my family watch me pass. You understand that? So there's many times where, on the human side, on this side, we're going, we wish we had more time. The spirit will go, you know what, if this is the way, if I'm going out, I'd rather go quick, right? Than, I don't say suffer, but in some cases, in a lot of cases, actually, it's about not wanting to see their family suffer watching that progression, right? So, give me a sec. And it's interesting because I don't get your dad being someone who was always like, oh, I love you. But what he's telling me, he says, there was never a doubt from her, to know how much I loved her. His family was number one. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Right? It's just so important that you know that he's okay. And Kelly Borland, just hang on, okay? Because I will come to you. I have you on the list here, but I'm just working with Amy here at the moment. I got a couple of people before you, okay? So if you can hang in there for a little bit, you'll have the opportunity to ask a question, okay? Yeah, so Amy, the gist of why he passed so quick was just he didn't want to have his family watch him suffer, right? Your dad reminds me of a great big old gruff teddy bear, because it's almost like a gruff exterior, but a big teddy bear at heart. So he's just sending so much love through the lines. And I think he was a bit of a bear hugger as well, because he shows me like trying to send this great tight hug out to you. Right? Okay. And then I hear she needs it right now. So you're someone who's trying to keep everything together. It's almost like you're the glue sometimes. So he's just kind of telling you, don't forget, you don't have to have it together all the time. And he shows me similarities in personalities. He would have been very much like that too. Okay. So know that he's okay. And he's okay with the way he passed. Okay. And he's happy that no one had to sit and watch him. He says, because it wouldn't have been, it wasn't a nice disease, if you will. Okay. I appreciate that, my dear. So much love to you. He's sending his love through the lines to you as well. Okay. Okay. And he says, give your mom a squeeze for me. Wants you to tell your mom how much he loves her too. Okay. Grace, you're saying, thank you for the message last week at Seaside Campground. It was a wonderful time. My dog and grandfather came through. So very glad that you enjoyed your reading, Grace. It was a real pleasure. You had lots of family coming through that day, if my memory serves me. Okay, so I hope that's helped Amy. Claire Smith. You are very, very welcome, Amy. This is my way of giving back. I love doing this work, right? And again, guys, if I'm not able to make a connection for you guys, this is what I do full time. This is what I do for a living. Gotta love what you do. So if you're looking to connect with someone, or even if it's not just about connection, my guides will answer any type of question, right? pop over to my website, paulahunter.ca. You can see what all I do. You can book a session with me or drop me a private message, and I'll be more than happy to set you up with a session with me, okay? And you know what? Doesn't matter where you are. I do a lot of Zoom calls, especially now with COVID. There's no difference in the session, right? And that's where this actually works well, because I can't see you guys, but the Spirit speaks, right? Spirit's the ones who sends the messages across. Aw, thanks, Amy. Much love to you, my dear. Okay, Claire, you're asking about mom or nan. What is your preference? Hello, Fran. Long time no see, my dear. And Marlene, you too. So after Claire will be Deanie Purdy, if you're still here, my dear, okay? Thank you, Michelle. Michelle saying you're amazing, Paulette. I have loved our Zoom sessions, and Michelle's out in BC, so she's one of my clients that are at a distance. So if you're looking for any testimonials, that's one of your girls right there. She's one of my clients, I can tell you. So yeah, let me know, Claire. Okay, Deanie, so you'll be right up after Claire, okay? So Claire, yeah, let me know which one, my dear. It's funny. As I'm asking you which one, this is the same line. So this would have been your mom and your mom's mom. I'm asking the question because they could be a force to be reckoned with. That's for sure. So I see you're kind of jumping all over the place. Okay. So Claire, I see you're saying any message. You know what? It's so nice when someone's so agreeable and they'll kind of take anything they want. I appreciate that. When I first read your question about your mom or your nan, it's like they came what I call piggybacking in, and it makes me feel like the same line. So again, they show me very strong female personalities, a lot of strength, and I kind of feel, oh, it could be, I get mom, but it feels like it could be grandmother as well, but in different ways, because as I'm keying in, it's more mom, because what they're telling me is they had a hard go, right? A tough time. So I'm not sure whether this is coming from mom throughout her life in a way, or, okay, or if it's more about an illness type of thing. But I really feel mom struggling. It's like your mom almost feeling she almost gets there, and then it's like the prize is just like pulled right out from in front of her. This makes sense a little bit, Claire? It's interesting because even with mom, I feel like she could speak her mind, and yet at a deeper level, I get her holding on to a lot of emotion. So a lot of times when I get someone who held on to a lot of emotion and not always the easiest to express it, it can represent someone who passed from cancer or issues with the heart or lungs. So let me know, Claire, if this is ringing some bells for you, making some sense for you. And again, greetings for those that I may not have said hello yet to. Hello, Christina. I'm just waiting for Claire to respond. Hopefully she didn't get booted off like my last group. And for those of you that might have been on the last one and seen that, you know, there's always reasons why sometimes we don't get a message when we want one, right? Sometimes it's just a case that spirit on the other side isn't ready. Maybe there's some healing that has to happen. And sometimes it's just us, right? You know, sometimes it's just such an emotional thing that we haven't done the work we needed to do in order to have that connection, right? So I'm not sure if Claire is still here or not. Hello, Judy and Kate, because she seems to have disappeared. So I might put Claire to the side for a moment, just in case she got booted off. And I'll come to Deanie for right now. Deanie, did you have a question or want a connection, my dear? Feel free to post it, and I will do my best to answer it for you. Hello, Stacy. Christina, nice to see you joining us. I'm doing my best to answer questions as I can. We've got over 50 people in the room right now. So I do my best. Deanie, so you want to connect with your son on the other side, correct? Oops, give me a second here. There we go. There we go. Give me a second here, Deanie. Okay. Deanie, you've been wanting to connect with him for some time. Okay. I also get that you're always looking for signs. So you're always kind of looking around for him. And I don't get that you're disappointed as far as that goes. Deanie, I know you're asking about connecting with your son. I get the feeling that there is more of a specific question you want to know from him. What do you want to ask? Okay. And I know, and it's easy to say, she wants to know if I'm okay. And that's one of the things he just brought forward. And you know, I know that you know he's okay, but he's saying that you need to hear that. And recognizing it isn't just a line, but it is the truth. Because he keeps repeating in my head, she just so needs to know that I'm okay. And he says, I'm okay with everything. Is this making some sense, Deanie? I just feel like part of this is kind of personal. So there are times, guys, when I'm doing group, if I recognize it's something that's kind of personal, I try and put it up here and not always go down here. Okay. Claire, I'll come back to you as soon as I'm done with Deanie, okay? So Deanie, if there's a specific question you want to ask, you know, please feel free to put it up there if you're open to having it kind of in a group format here right now, okay? Because I just get a lot of emotion around his passing, both from him and for you. He shows me that sometimes he could be a pain in the ass, said with love, but he says, I recognize that he says, I was a jerk sometimes, right? Yep, I see you're here, Claire. I'll come back to you, my dear. I just get a sense of, Deanie, like, I don't say resistance, but I just feel like some of this is private, and it can come down to how he passed, how he transitioned as well. But feel free that if there's a specific question you want to ask, please ask it, okay? Then I can answer it better for you, okay? Okay. Deanie, what do you want to know? Don't mind me, guys. I'm just kind of plugging my computer here. That'd be not good if my computer all of a sudden just kicked out. I just want to give you the opportunity. And you know, Deanie, if you're not comfortable in kind of the group setting, I mean, again, I'd be more than happy to set you up with a private session, okay? Just let me know. Now, Deanie, I see your question here. You said, was there anything that could have been done? Now, I said a few minutes ago that he wanted you to know that he was okay and that he was okay with his decisions. Okay? So I guess you can say the way that he passed was his decision. And when I talk about that, it can be definitely from a soul perspective for sure. When you ask the question, and I asked that question of him, was there anything that could have been done? What I get is, you know, he shakes his head and he lowers his head. He goes, no. And he says, I wasn't in the best. He says, I wasn't the best of communicators. So he was in a place that he wasn't reaching out. Right. And he says, I recognize that and I take responsibility for that. So what that tells me is there were people there for him, right, who loved him and supported him. But he wasn't able to reach out and do anything about it. I don't know if that's making sense or not. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this at a certain level, okay? I see I got a troll, so give me a minute here. and block. There we go. That's one reason why I keep my phone here, because then I can block people right off the bat. I lovingly call them trolls, but same type of thing. Is this making some sense for you, Jeannie? Like I said, I really recognize that it's kind of a private thing. And what he's telling me is there's still a lot of emotion over his passing. And what he's telling me is you haven't done your healing yet either, because he's saying that he says she can't let go of me. She keeps thinking that she could have done something different, or that she should have seen something. Right. And what he's telling me, he's telling me that no, he says nobody did. Okay. And it's interesting because he shows me two sides of a coin. So on the one hand, he'd be there coming up behind you, wrapping his arms around, because he shows me like somebody sitting and coming up behind, wrapping his arms around you. And then on the other side, he shows me being so angry and verbal, I guess you can say, and how angry he could be sometimes. So he shows me, this double, I don't say double personality, but it feels at times he could switch very quickly. You understand that? The troll has been booted. It has been done. I don't like trolls either. I can't believe I would never do that on someone else's lives or readings or anything else. I think it's very distasteful, but I guess everybody walks their own path. I have ethics, and yeah, I don't work that way. Not me. Okay. Jeannie, when you're ready, reach out. Okay. Because I do feel, if you're open to having a private session, I do feel that there is a discussion that has to happen, but I keep getting, and he's saying it too, it's private. But you need to be ready for that discussion as well, I guess you can say. Okay. He is blowing a kiss through the lines to you, though, and he is sending his love through the lines. He does want you to know that he loves you. He says that was never, how do I put it? It was never something that wasn't true. I think sometimes he may have acted or said, I'm angry. We say things when we're angry, and we say it because we're angry, not necessarily because we mean it. So he really wants to send his love through the lines to you and let you know how much he loves you. And he says, I'm sorry I didn't tell you enough. Okay. Jeannie, he's asking me to tell you, he says, tell her to wipe her tears. Okay. So I hope that's helped a little bit, my dear. Okay. So yeah, reach out when you're ready, okay? Yeah, I just feel like you still need some time, and I just recognize it. He's got some things he wants to say, but it's not public. I call it public fodder, but that's how I even do my in-person groups, right? Because sometimes it's just personal, and that's just the way it is, right? Let me see. And hello to everyone. Hello to, if I haven't said hello yet, I apologize. I'm trying to stay on top of everything here. So let me see. Claire, I'm going to come back to you, Claire. And I see you're validating back. Let me see. I had said earlier you had a kind of take off from the phone. He said, yes, your mom and your dad had cancer. They were mother-daughter, died 5 days of each other due to cancer. Okay. And that's kind of when you were asking for either one, that's what they were doing is they were like what I call piggybacking in. They were both coming at the same time. And I really felt like there was that mother-daughter connection between them. And then they showed me what I call stepping stones. It shows me just a lot of strength, very similar personalities through the lines too. And as I said, I got that kind of cancer connection there. I'm just jumping down my list here. Okay. And I don't get what I call epiphany messages or anything like that. I just get more of a sense of, checking in. Definitely one of them was a little shorter in stature. Firecracker. Didn't have a problem speaking their mind. I don't think either one of them did. But, the other comment I made too, I was trying to remember, they just brought up again. I feel like both of them kind of had a rough go. And as I said, it made me feel like illness, that transition, that time frame. But it also made me feel like life in general, because when it kind of keyed into mom a little bit more, and I'm not sure if you heard this, you might have been off, but when I keyed into mom, it was almost like, here's the prize. And every time your mom would go to reach for the prize, it'd be yanked out in front of her. So it was almost like thinking like she was going to get there. She's going to be happy. She's going to have what she wants. And then something would happen. She'd be back at square one again. And I just get this sense of repetition. And I think she might have struggled in relationships a little bit as well. You understand that a little bit? Hi, Heather. Hi, Angie. Yeah. Did you want to know something specific from them, Claire? Now that I have a minute, I just, I know I'm running a little short on time. I want to make sure I still have Kelly Borland here. Kelly, just let me know if you're still here too, just to confirm that. I know you've been waiting patiently. Yeah. Claire, I see your comment when you're talking about that she had an alcohol problem. And you know what, as you say that, it's interesting because what she's telling me is when she was here, she would have said, I don't have a problem. It's not an issue. She would make excuses. But on the other side, what she shows me is lowering her head. And what she's saying is that was my way of dealing with things. Not that that's an excuse and not that that's a reason. But she says it was my reason. So here it was why she struggled with it. She says it was easier to hide than deal with things. And as I said earlier, I mean, and that's for anyone out there, one of the things I've learned working with spirit is whenever they show me a person who struggled with from an emotional perspective, right, we bury, we hide it. Then that is a disease that eats us from the inside out. I mean, that is a nasty disease, but it has a direct correlation back to emotion is what I found when I've connected, right? Good. Clara, I see your comment about spot on. Yeah. So I hope that's helped a little bit with that. And I see you're asking quickly about getting a feeling that I'm anyway psychic at all. You know what? Everybody is. Everybody has intuition. The bottom line is to what degree and how much are you willing to work the muscle? And it isn't just about let me learn a skill, but how much are you willing to go to the deeper parts of yourself and heal what needs to heal? And as you do that, that's what opens up the other side of things too. Okay. Jenny saying, I have to go, but you're amazing. And I can't thank you enough for your connection with my dad, Jim. You're a blessing, my dear. And I totally enjoy watching you do your readings. God bless. Thank you so much, Jenny. I appreciate that. I'm going to throw that little comment up just because it's so sweet. I appreciate that. You know what? It's my way of giving back. And like I said, we're living in a crazy world right now. So the more that I can help create peace for someone and help somebody heal, that's what's most important. That's what drives me to do the work that I do, right? Yes, at the end of the day, we all have to pay our bills, but that isn't the motivator for me. The motivator is feeling like I've empowered somebody or helped them heal as they step out my door, right? And thank you so much, Claire. I hope that helped a little bit, okay? Thanks, Jen. Everyone, she's the real deal. I appreciate that very much so. Thanks, guys. So I'm going to come back to Kelly Borland. Oh, you're going to make me blush, guys. I appreciate it. Like I said, this is what I love doing. So I'm going to come back to Kelly. Kelly, let me know the connection you were looking for. I know you posted something up earlier. But sometimes things get scrolled down the list so easily. Amanda's saying, I did a group reading for yourself and some friends a few years back. I still talk about them often with friends and send them your way. You do wonderful work. You know what? Thank you so much, Amanda. This is how I get a lot of my work, right? It's from you guys. It's the word of mouth. It's you promoting me. And you know what? Thank you from the bottom of my heart for that, right? Because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do the work that I love to do, right? And that's the most important thing, right? Okay. And Kelly, now that you said your niece, I do remember a little bit what you were talking about. If my memory serves me, you were talking about some sort of brain disease that was going around, and you said New Brunswick, and that she had passed from it. Just remind me or confirm if that was kind of what you were saying, if you don't mind. Hey, Vanessa, long time no see, my dear. And just a quick one for everyone again, you know what? I'm going to be in St. John next week, September 30th, a in-person group reading due to the changes that are happening with COVID and the passports and all this stuff. It'll be my last outside group session till next year anyway, until I know that things are changing. I see that I have another troll, so give me a minute while I block them. There we go. Another one bites the dust. Yeah, so it'll be St. John, Oh My Soul and Journey on the 30th. You can look at my Facebook page under events. You'll find the information. Last one for this year, last one probably for a while until things kind of level a bit, because I'm not doing the passport thing. I'm not checking people. That's just not my thing. And I'm not going to do it. So I made a decision to step away from my groups. I'll still be doing kind of private party things, but not the big groups. Okay. So if you want to catch me, it'll be the last one this year. And I'm not sure for how long yet. Okay. Okay. So Kelly, which one was it you wanted to connect with? I see that you lost your eldest niece, but you have another niece that is not passed, that has the brain disease. Okay, so one had the brain disease and is still here, and this is another one that's already on the other side. Okay, give me a second here. When you talk about your other one, your other niece being on the other side too, I really feel like she left very abruptly too. Like I do get illness and disease with her, but I do feel a sense of quick leave with her too. Was she not really diagnosed till right at the end? Because from her, I'm getting the sense of like, didn't see it coming, not having a sense of awareness. Is this making some sense a little bit, Kelly? Okay. Good. Has she not been passed very long either? Because I just get the sense where she's still trying to do some healing. It's almost just like the sense of shock. Okay, so you're saying exactly. Okay, good. So when you talked about the eldest niece and the other one that's still here, are they sisters? I just asking the question. And there's a reason why I'm asking it, but I'm still going to ask it anyway. Okay. Kelly, did people not get to say goodbye with her either? Or goodbye to her? Because I just get the sense where she didn't get the closure that she needed either. Neither did family on this side. A niece and aunt. Okay. Hello, Christina, my dear. Much love to ya. Miss ya. Good to see you. Hope everything's going well for you. Okay. And I see that no, they didn't. So I take it the no, they didn't was the comment about not being able to say goodbye. Because I just get the sense of her, like, not frantic, but it's like, you know, I didn't get to do this. And it's almost like her thinking like, well, that's not fair. You know, it shouldn't have been like that. So I get a bit of kind of anger, I guess you can say, around her in some ways. And that's not necessarily something that I always get from spirit on the other side, but it also tells me that she could either be nearly past, or it represents the fact she's still doing some healing. Because if we're holding on to that, it tells me they haven't kind of integrated everything they need to integrate, and they haven't done the healing that they need to do in order to keep moving forward, right? I mean, at the end of the day, she is okay. Okay. Was her grandmother passed or your grandmother? Not quite 3 years. Okay. Well, she's still definitely doing some work on the other side. The reason why I'm asking about the grandmother is she shows me when she does this transition, there's another woman that's there that comes to what we call a greet. We always have someone that greets us from the other side, from the spirit world, right? And as I see her doing this transition, I get this grandmother energy that's standing up and reaching out for her to help her with that transition, because I do get the sense of like, not necessarily chaos. It's just like, no, I don't want to go. And so, you know, your grandmother, yeah. I get your grandmother there reaching out for her and helping her with that transition because she was struggling. It's like having one foot on this side and one foot on the other going, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And this is back and forth and back and forth. So she might have, you know, kind of really fought as far as the illness or whatever it is. She fought hard before she transitioned, right? That being said, she is okay, right? She's still doing a little bit of work, right? She could be extremely stubborn because I get like this. And that always represents a sense of stubbornness, right? So just, I mean, know that she's okay. You know, I guess my question is there something in particular you want to know about? I still get just unfinished. I think sometimes because we don't get this chance to say goodbye, I think we have the sense of, you know, unfinished business. And I kind of get that with her, and I kind of get that with family on this side too. So I'm not sure if there's other questions that are being asked about her passing or around her passing. But I really feel like, again, it's not quite done. And it could be just still a case of like, I can't believe that she's gone, right? She seems like the stubborn one. What they do is they'll show me like a 3-year-old, like just pouting and that crossing of the arms, right? But stubbornness doesn't have to be a bad trait either. And I see your question here. Will Jay ever see their truth? Is I see what your question is. And it's funny because when you're asking the question, they're actually, the guides are taking me on 2 different slopes with that. What I hear is, you know, are we looking at the truth or are we looking at their truth? That's 2 different things, right? So it makes, when I key into whoever Jay is, I get the sense of having blinders here. So that tells me that they can only see what's here. So they are seeing part of the truth, but not all of the truth. You understand that? And as I say that, what the, you know, what the guides are saying is she well, I hear she, so I'm not sure if Jay is a she or not, but what I get is they're seeing their truth, and that's all they're going to see. They're not open to see somebody else's, right? They're not in a place that they're able to do so. So I don't get someone being obstinate and just not, you know, ignoring. I get that where they are within themselves, they really, really can't see outside of that. Okay. I wish I could tell you differently because I do feel there's a lot of healing that has to happen there too. But the guides just, they shake their head. They go, she's not ready. That help a little bit, Kelly? Hopefully that does a little bit anyway. She'll continue to do some work that she's got to do, you know, in order to heal. Right? I mean, I see you posing the question, what about the kids? I mean, that for me, that's what I call an open-ended question, because the guys are saying, to what degree is she asking? You know, what is it specifically you want to know? Do you mean, you know, how they're going to deal with the passing and the loss, or about them seeing the truth of the situation? I guess so I can make sure I'm answering the question that you're really asking at the end of the day. Okay. Kelly, I see your question asking about whether they're going to be part of your life again. You know, I'd love to tell you otherwise, but as soon as you posed that question, my guides came back and they said, not at this time. And so when they say not at this time, what that represents is, as we, you know, you can look at this as statistics. So they say, this is what we see. Basically from this time moving forward, knowing that we can make choices and changes later on that can change that time frame. Okay. But when they say not at this time, it's telling me moving forward right now, they do not see a change to that situation. And they show me what I call the 3 monkeys, which is see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. So it's like, it's kind of like no matter what you do, you can't kind of get outside of that right now. I wish I could tell you otherwise. They are not open. And it could be that somebody else is instigating the situation, if you understand what I mean, because it feels like there's someone on the sidelines that's stirring the pot. Maybe not so much on the sidelines, but there's somebody else there that's in the thick of it causing issues. That makes sense a little bit. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you differently. Know that, again, with all things, right, we all have the opportunity to make changes and different decisions at the end of the day. So, you know, what they see right now as they move forward could be different 5 years from now. But what they show me is whoever this other person is having, it's almost like they show me someone who's got like the old puppets, right? Here's the strings, right? Attached to someone and is pulling the strings. That's kind of what they're showing me with that individual, is they're being the puppeteer and controlling. It makes sense, Kelly? Hopefully it does for you. Yeah. So right now, like I said, when they show me what I call the three monkeys, the individuals, if you will, the children can't see outside of that at this time. That is their truth. That is the reality. That's where they're sitting. The best thing that I can say is, you know what, visualize, send it the love, and, you know, put it out to the universe that the truth be seen, right? We don't try and wish ill will on someone else, but we say, you know what, I love them. Please make sure they know that, and let the truth be known, right? That's the best thing that we can do, right? We visualize them coming back into our life with the emotional attachment to it, right? How good is that going to feel? Okay. So I hope that's kind of answered the questions for you, because I recognize there's a lot of stuff going on there as well. And they say this is kind of out of your comfort zone a little bit too, because you are more of a private person. So to do something like this is a little outside of your comfort zone. So thank you for, okay, the guides say for coming to listen, but you've also been praying and sending out, if you will, the energy to higher power. So also recognize you're being heard. Because I think sometimes when things don't always manifest or work out the way that we want it to, sometimes we wonder whether we're being heard. And okay, I have higher beings stepping forward at this time, if you will, angelic beings, as I'm messing with my throat. Hang on a sec. And basically what they're saying is, you know, you have been heard and much love to you, right? Okay. I hope that helped, my dear. And thank you for popping in. All right, guys. On that note, I've come up actually a little past my hour. Thank you for spending some time with me this evening. I will be back again in 2 weeks. Like and follow my page. I always post when I'm going to be going live again. Like I said, I try and do it every 2 weeks. It's also on my website, so you can check there. If I wasn't able to make a connection or answer a question for you tonight, you know what? I apologize. I would be more than happy to set you up with a private session one-on-one, whether it's in person or over Zoom, okay? Reach out. You know, you guys, be kind. As you step out your door, there's so much anger, there's so much hate. It needs to stop. It starts with us as individuals and not feeding the same bullshit and crap that's been going on, okay? Much love to everybody. Have a great